to Romania, and I hope I will come back soon to implement Google Apps in your organizations. Okay, so we started Webevol 4 years ago. We are now in 17, 18 countries, and we do nothing but cloud. So if the cloud is not important, our company will fail. And we are growing very fast, so the cloud is important. So I try to speak about the cloud in general, not too much about Google Apps, because there will be a lot of presentation by some of our customers and nice people from the company Webevol. So I try to make a picture of the general view of the cloud computing in the world today. Okay. And the next 10 years, 2010, 2020, are going to be the cloud decade. Okay. So in IT, every 10 years, there is a new revolution. 1990, the first PC which works almost quite well, Windows 3. You remember this one? Okay. And this was the PC revolution. Then 10 years later, in year 2000, we had the web. One more time, I'm speaking about organizations, the web. Okay, but in fact, web was there before, 10 years before. And it took 10 years for an organization to move to the web. And now we are entering the cloud world, 2010, okay? And but at the same time, the first application was there already 10 years ago. So it's always 10 years before we can move, okay? So this is basically the next 10 years. And we have a new conference in 2020, what's happened after the cloud, okay? And we have a meeting planned in this same hotel in 2020, okay? For the next revolution, okay? So if you want to speak cloud, you have a minimum of language. So tonight, when you go to dinner with some friends, say, I know about cloud. Okay, what is the minimum language you know? You have to learn about it. So when you are a CIO in IT, when you speak about cloud computing, you speak about infrastructure as a service, which means you sell servers and storage. The number one on the world is called Amazon with Amazon Web Services, the same company which sells you books. Okay. Then if you are a developer, you can use as with Google App Engine, I got the same example, okay, and you sell to the developers, okay, which is fine, okay. And then you go to SaaS, software as a service, you speak to the business unit, okay, and Google Apps is a good example of a SaaS, okay. Another example is Salesforce, CRM, for commercial application. It's important to understand that over the last 5 years, Salesforce has sold most of its application to the end user directly because the CIO said no software from the cloud. So the user said, okay, I will do it alone, which is not good. So today, most of the CIOs understand that they have to do it. Okay. And then you have a new generation called process as a service where you send an application which is so simple that you don't need IT. Good example is Amiando, is a German application that does event management. You want to organize a conference like this one, then you go to Amiando and you organize the event. Everything is prepared. And in 2 days, you have the full website ready for the event. So plenty of cloud ways of using the cloud. Okay. And all the alphabet of RRS has been used. Data as a service, confidentiality as a service, from A to Z. Okay. So it's full cloud. Okay. That's what is cloud today. I will speak mostly on these two parts. Okay. So the key question today is how to select the good direction to go to the cloud for 2015. I will speak a lot of 2015 as a reasonable way of moving over the next 2 to 3 years. Okay. We are now in 2011, and what is a good way to go? And there are a lot of bad ways, you know. As we say in French, cul-de-sac. You go up and then you have to go down. And some of the old, you know, you remember some of the old small companies like Microsoft? You remember this one? Okay. That's a good example to go bad way because then to go back and go up again. So don't do that. Okay. I will go and we'll speak more about it. Okay. So, and then we'll speak about 2020 but a bit later on. Okay. So really, okay, what we do at Webevol is try to help you take the good path to the cloud. And this is our only job at Webevol in any countries. Okay. So let me make a quick definition of what is important for you. Cloud computing. So what is your decision framework? Cloud first. Very simple. So the idea is to just, when you make a decision, cloud first. If you don't find a solution on the cloud, then you will look for something different. But most likely you will find a solution on the cloud. So it's a great news for Romania and for all your organizations. Okay, so I will speak in two parts: infrastructure, quickly, and applications. So a kind of general overview of what when we speak about the cloud, what do we speak about? What is cloud? Infrastructure. Very simple. High-speed networks. As you said, Romania is very well in this position. I have some numbers for you about it, okay? That's it. Then you need servers out. In our Wavable company, we have a very large number of servers, 0. That's a decision from the management. No server are allowed inside Wavable. And we are about 140 people worldwide, and we run on the cloud from D1. And we survived it. Okay? And Axel 2, the browser on a mobile device. Very simple. So that's the strategy. I will go on some detail about it. Okay. So mobile data network is important, clearly. And you go through 2G, 3G. Now you are in 3G with HSPDVA. And the next generation will call LTE, long-term evolution. Okay. So this is the next generation coming. But you can buy Samsung 4G. If you are in the US now, you can buy LTE phones. You see the small LTE 4G. Okay, this is of course an Android phone. Okay, it's coming. But good news. Yesterday I arrived late, 11 p.m. Went to my hotel. I connected to the web. I travel a lot. I was in New York a few weeks ago, in Morocco, in France, in Spain, in Germany. Never I had such a speed. This is the first time. This is the number I measured because I couldn't believe it. Okay, so I made a measurement yesterday. 20 megabytes per second down, 20 up, 24. So, congratulations. I have never had, in all my traveling life, such a good speed in a hotel. By the way, of course, free Wi-Fi. Okay. I was in a hotel in Paris, and they charged 20 euros per day. And the speed was about 10 times less. Okay, so congratulations again. Okay, that's yesterday night, brand new. Okay, okay, so great news. LTE, the next generation, it's coming. LTE is very interesting because it starts at 150 megabytes down and 50 up. But it will go in 2014, 2015 at 1 gigabyte. Mobile networks, okay, that's okay, 1 gigabyte. And so I did also some work on your country. I looked around, okay? Whoops. So I looked at Romania, and what did I find in the newspapers? I don't read a lot, so I read an English newspaper. And first, I have some measure of LTE speed. So LTE speed, the next generation, this is done in Finland, which was one of the first countries to move to LTE, okay? And what was the speed available? Okay, I have some problem with mine. Okay, it's coming. So this was measured 3G, 4G, download. Okay, but 10 times more. So when you move around in Finland with a mobile device, an Android or an iPhone, whatever, you get 30 to 40 megabytes on your device. Not too bad. Anywhere. Okay, and you go up. When you go on the upside, okay, on the other direction, okay, when you go up, what do you get? Almost 10 times more also, the same kind of change, 3G, 4G. This is our measured results, not theoretical, the reality. And so Germany is going it, and US is doing it, so what about your country? So your country is also, I hope, is going to go in the same and the good direction. Okay. So LTE is coming to Romania. I read, this is new October. Okay. So your organization here, your telecom regulation organization, which is called what's the name, ANCOM, will sell the license in 2012. So Romania will get LTE in 2013. Good news. You already have 3G, reasonable one, good Wi-Fi, but it will get better. And cloud without networks does not exist. So if you have network, you have cloud. No network, no cloud. So I think that are very interesting. Okay. So a quick summary on networks, and then I will move on to the next one. So what is going to be the picture of 2015 for networking? Wireless. Okay. You have seen a tablet sometime? Okay. I don't know if you have tried to connect a tablet with an RG44 cable. Doesn't work. You don't do it. And when your general manager comes to an organization, I have a tablet I want to connect, you cannot say Wi-Fi is forbidden. And I know some big organization in Europe that says Wi-Fi is not secure, you are not allowed to do it. But you don't say no to the top guy. So Wi-Fi everywhere, or LTE, or 3G, which is good, by the way. Okay, so it's coming. Second, and then you have gigabyte, 3G, Wi-Fi, you don't care. Anything will work. Okay. I have my smartphone, I can connect in Wi-Fi in this hotel, in 3G in France, or whatever. I can do what I want with this one. Good coverage over the world, okay? Reasonable cost. I've been told the costs in your country are quite reasonable, which is also good news, okay? And so the hypothesis for cloud is very simple. We have sufficiently bandwidth for most of the professional usage. That's my hypothesis one. Number two, servers. Servers, okay. Big servers, worldwide. Okay, so most organizations are recentralizing servers or getting rid of servers. This is called cloud. Okay, the first cloud was called public cloud. What was called cloud? But what is a public cloud? Server you don't manage. We use server from Google, from Salesforce, for a lot of companies, and we don't manage it. That's the normal cloud. But the vendors of servers, the old guys, you remember the name? HP, IBM, Dell, they don't like it. Why? They don't sell servers. So we invented something very strange called private cloud. What is a private cloud? Private cloud does not exist, but that's a way to slow down the arrival of the real cloud. Private cloud, your own data centers. So if you have today servers in your company, you have a private cloud. You just upgraded your servers to private cloud. Private cloud are cloud you manage, server you manage. It's not very interesting. And then the third family called community cloud. I will come on this one in 1 second. But the real one is our public cloud. Okay. So what do you find on the market when you go in this direction? I have an image which is very interesting. It's from 100 years ago, 1910, electricity. In 1910, most companies, organizations, were running their own generator of energy. Now, no choice. What came? Then we arrived with networks and provider of energy. So in 20 years, most organizations say, okay, I will stop running my own energy production, and I will buy energy, utility, compared to internet. So now we switch 100 years to 2010, and what do we find in 2010? The same for cloud, for servers. Whoops. So 2010, 2015, 2020, I replace energy by cloud, and I've done. So by 2020, most intelligent Romanian organizations will have no servers. Because some big company like Google, Amazon, or whatever will provide you energy at a much cheaper price. And you don't have to run it, to manage it, to update it. You don't have it. Okay. Great news. But big change. Okay. So if I speak of Google as an example, this is one of the Google data centers. Okay. Big machine. Okay. And some of the numbers I will give are not official Google numbers. Okay. Google, when you ask the CIO of Google, how many servers do you have? You know the answers? We don't know, which is not true, of course. But they don't want to communicate on the number. So I have, the last number I got, more or less, that's non-official, but 2.4 million, okay? All Linux, because it has to work. So Linux or Linux, okay, of course. Okay. Okay. And they are located in about 40 different places worldwide. Okay, around Europe, US, China. They're just building 2 new in China. Okay, so that's a lot of servers. Okay, and how do they manage it? Very simple. Every week, there are hundreds of servers went down, no problem, because they are all backed. So they make a change in they manage their infrastructure once a week. It's very industrial, okay. Of course, these numbers are not official, but reasonable numbers, okay. What is a community cloud? It's something interesting. It's when a group of companies in the same business decide to share an application. And I have an example. It's called Amadeus in the airline transportation, like Air France or Tarom. This is the Amadeus data center in Germany. Okay, so Amadeus was created by, I'm sorry, I'm too fast. Okay, I'll go back. 1 second. Okay. Okay, this is the Amadeus in Germany. Amadeus was built by Air France, Lufthansa, and Iberia. So they installed the management of the company in Spain, the software development in France, and the data center in Germany, and not the reverse. Okay. Okay, this is big data center, and 140 airlines just use the same application on a shared machine. This is a big data center in Munich, and they have, in case of a failure of the electrical network, they have motors, diesel, with 6 months worth of energy to run without any electricity. That's typical German, by the way. 6 months. Okay. Munich without electricity for 6 months. Not very, very probable, but in case. That's important also. Okay, so now cost. These are some numbers which I've run. If you have 1,000 servers, which is already a big company, how much does it cost to run 1,000 servers compared to running the same 1,000 servers on a big data center with 100,000? Okay, there are not that many companies in Romania that have 1,000 servers. But even if you have it, if you run it, $3.3 million US, run on a big data center 4 times cheaper. So nobody can compete on cost. Nobody. You take all the costs, storage, server, everything, don't go into the details. But running 1,000 servers, well, it's 4 times more expensive than having somebody run it for you. So if you have 10 servers or 20 servers, of course, you cannot compete. Okay. So to summarize on server, this is a good example. This is another example from Microsoft. The internal of the Microsoft data center in Chicago. So this data center cost is $1 billion US. Okay? It goes on containers, a normal container, 40 feet, and 2,000 servers per container. When you upgrade your data center, you upgrade by 2,000 at one time, of course. That's the minimum, 1 container, okay? So a good example. So really, about this one, okay, so what can we say about, no place for amateurs. Okay. On servers, or you are big, or you don't exist. Nobody can compete with the big names. The big names, Amazon, Google, IBM, Microsoft, by alphabetical order, so I have no problem with them. Okay. They all build huge data center. Facebook just built a new data center, cost $700 million US. Just for Facebook. Apple, iCloud, you heard about iCloud. Run on a new data center from Apple, $1 billion. So you have to get money on the table, $1 billion per year, or you don't exist. Simple. Revival yet has not $1 billion to invest in data centers. So we rely on Google and some more of the company. Okay. So this is great because for you can get worldwide installation at very reasonable cost. I think it's important to understand this. You can buy in Romania today the best server worldwide you need. They are all available at very, very cheap prices. So network solved, server solved. Third point, access tools. How do you enter the cloud? Okay, how do you enter the cloud? Well, we have a good example from Google, of course. Okay, what is an access tool for the cloud? Very simple. You need 2 things to access the cloud. First, a browser. Okay, a good browser, of course. Okay, universal entry point for every application. This is we run in Revival. All our applications are on the cloud. So you need a browser, multi-platform. Okay, we respect the standard of the web, and of course, with good performance. Okay. So I did a survey. I did a look also at your country about which browser are available in your country used. Okay, it's interesting because there is a big website which called, you can access it, it's called StatCounter, okay? This is the number for October. And it's very interesting. You have here the old one. You remember this one? What's the name of this one? Okay, it's Internet Explorer. The older, okay. You remember Internet Explorer had 90% of the market in 2005. Now it's gone down, okay? And you have Firefox and Chrome just at the same level. So Romania is one of the most interesting countries because there are very few countries where Chrome has such a big market share. But you get the three top ones, and then you get Safari, and you get from Apple. Okay. So this is a good example of your market today. And if you go to this website, then you can find the numbers next month or whatever, when you want. Okay. And you can check by country, by continent. It's very interesting. Okay. So this is the way it is today here. So you use a lot of Firefox and Chrome. How many people in this room use Internet Explorer? Great, okay. No, tomorrow morning you change, okay? Tonight, I'm sorry, tonight, okay. Okay. So in large organization, in large IT organization, when you are a CIO, you have a big choice, which is not good. Obesity or anorexia. Fat client, thin client. What is a fat client today? I get some image, okay. That's a Mexican chain of food. Okay, and on the right you have Windows 7 and Office 2010. Okay, so next time you want to buy this product, I want you to flash in your memory this image of fat client. Okay, doesn't work. Nobody needs it. Okay, so if you want to go, the option is something which is called thin client, anorexia, called Citrix. Okay, you know Citrix? You cannot run big clients or you run thin clients. So today it's bad. You have fat or thin. You need in between, normal clients, okay, which exist, okay. Of course, and the numbers, second point, you already spoke about it, but I have the same numbers you gave about the same numbers. This is the way PC, smartphones are evolving from 2005 to 2013. That's the normal desktop, the desktop. You still sell about 150 million desktop per year, stable. Some people do need desktop, not too many. And then you have portable PCs, laptops, like the one we all have on the table, and this is smartphone plus tablet. So the market is interesting, 80% mobile, but more or less 80% mobile, okay. And as you said, it goes faster than expected. In 2011, 2012, the number of laptop plus PC was smaller than smartphone plus tablet. So 80% of the market on mobile device. So how do you access the cloud? Very simple, a mobile device with a browser. It could be an Android, an iPhone, or a Mac or a PC, whatever you want. Okay. So if I want to summarize, of course, I spoke also. I have also a Chromebook, of course. Okay. My Chromebook is very different from yours. It's white and yours is black. Okay, that's the only difference. Okay, the Chromebook. Okay. And I got the same numbers as you have, but it's interesting. The Chromebook fast, but as you gave the number of 24 or 25 euros. Yeah. Okay, I made some computation. Okay. 24 per month over 3 years, that's 900 euros. Okay. You can do that with Excel 2010. The minimum you need to do this computation. Okay? But then if you go to a normal PC, as I gave the number of Gartner, over 3 years, you get 9,000. From 1 to 10. So if you have 1,000 users, you gain $8,000 over 3 years per user with a nicer machine. I think it's a good number for the CEO of the company. Okay. You can reduce by 10 the cost of the access tool. And this number of 3,000 euros is the minimum. Okay, very interesting numbers. 1 to 10. Clear, okay? So, to finalize, okay, so what is a cloud-connected device? You we spoke a long time ago of PCs. Now the new name is Cloud Connected Device. Okay. What is a CCD? Very simple. Mobile, 80%. Any network will do. Wi-Fi, 3G, LTE, laptop, smartphone, computer, Ultrabook. What is Ultrabook? It's a new one from Intel. What is an Ultrabook? It's a MacBook Air built by Windows. It's called an Ultrabook. Okay. Why not? Okay. Okay. Zero application, or almost zero application on the desktop, so it's easier to manage, as you said. It's faster and cheaper and much better. Okay. So it's reliable, low cost, we see the numbers, and a lot of security. Because why? Because if you do it this way, if you do with the kind of machine, as you said, I don't have information, lost PCs. If you go through the US custom with a PC, the guy at the custom can look at your drive. He has the right to read your drive. If you have encrypted information, you have to give the key. If you don't give the key, you say, what? Okay, I keep your PC, I will send it to the CIA. They have tools to find out, and you will get your PC back in 6 months. If I have a Chromebook, I say, take it. There is nothing. Okay, good example. So summarize on infrastructure, I think it's very important to understand the basics for 2015. You need networks. You have it here already. You need cloud. Of course, you have 3 clouds possible. Or you have the private cloud, the public cloud, or a mix of the 3. A browser, and a mobile device. Very simple. So this is a good summary, I guess, of what we need to work. This is the way we work in Weverall, by the way. Okay. So from the IT guy, it's very simple. You can do any application which works on this machine, on this one. So next Monday, what next Monday is the 23rd of October, you have to make a decision. Any application which is not built and run from a browser is forbidden. Very simple decision. Okay, and then you can run on the cloud. Simple. Okay? You've done it Monday. Let's get the weekend over the decision. Okay. So now you have applications. And on the application, it's called SaaS. And the change in application is even bigger than the change in infrastructure. So is this a big jump? No. What is a SaaS application? Software as a service, as I explained before. You run on the cloud, okay? Some people will sell you an application. We say it's because they want to be SaaS. So some of the old vendors will say, we have SaaS. How do you know it's SaaS or not SaaS? I have 2 tricks for you, 2 tests. When you speak to the vendor, okay, oh, you have a nice application on the cloud, yes, but my information, is it secure? Okay, I'm not sure. Could I run the same application on my own data centers? If the guy says yes, paf, not SaaS. Bye-bye. And most of the vendors today will do the same trick. Okay, and then the business model is different, and the key word is multi-tenant. I will explain these 2 points. Okay. The business model, what we call no software from Salesforce, is very simple. You don't pay for the software. You don't buy licenses. You don't buy maintenance, of course, because this is also what you are sometimes asked to pay, okay? You pay a service, okay? You pay 40 euros per person per year for example, Google Apps, okay? So this is very different. You don't have investment cost, you have just operation cost. And basically 2 points per year or per month and per number of users. Those are the 2 basics. Very simple, very easy to, so it's very cheaper. Well, sometimes it's not so cheap. We have a subsidiary in Morocco, and I spoke this way, and they said, oh, Google Apps is more expensive than Microsoft. I said, how come? Very cheap. No, but we don't pay Microsoft. Some countries, very strange countries, you have non-official version of the software. Of course, this does not exist in Romania. We know that, okay. But the good news about for a CIO, when you use Google Apps, for example, if you pay for 100, you cannot use 101. you have to pay 101. Of course, 40 euros per year is more expensive than 0, but 0 is not the official price. Okay. Of course, as nobody here does this kind of stuff, we are okay. So, but this is very important. And but the most important point is what we call multi-tenant. I rent an application like Google Apps or Salesforce. I am one of in an apartment, not a private home. Somebody else is running here, somebody here, somebody here. We rent the same application. There is only one version of it, okay? Only one instance, okay? I cannot modify it. Okay. This is very difficult for some CIOs. Okay. They decide to go for CRM, they choose a SaaS application, and they speak to the manager of marketing. And the person says, okay, that's nice. How can I modify to suit my need? And your answer is very simple. I cannot. It's impossible to change, which is good, because this is a good application. Okay. So what does it mean? It means very simple. That's, we share the application. So if it's not running for me, it's not running for 10,000. And if it's running for 10,000, it's running for me. Okay. And people like Google know how to run applications. What do you do when you are in a new Wi-Fi network in a hotel? It seems it's not working. Sometimes it happens. Okay. What do you type on your PC? Everyone does Google. Okay, you type Google, and if there is no answer, do you say Google is down? No, you say the network is down. This is the way I do it. Nobody has ever thought that Google could go down. Okay, so these people, it's important. Okay, and so when they change the version, as you said, next version, we have the same for everyone, next day. So this is good. And what is the value for you as a client of this kind of application? Well, the advantage. Really, there are a lot of advantage. You have always access to the last version, the best one, okay? You can make some parameterization. You can add your logo, some quick changes, of course, okay? You cannot create your own, which is good, okay? And most important, you can buy, same for everybody, and you can buy the best version. You can buy, we have the same. And this is important for you, for Romania. As Revevol, when we will come and visit you, the only application we can offer you are the best in the world. If you use Google Apps, if you use Salesforce or Zoho, you show Zoho, there is only one version. You can be a multinational in San Francisco, a medium-sized organization in France, a small company here, or a big here, whatever, only one. So for the first time in the world, really for the first time, you can buy the best application at the same price everywhere. So in terms of competitiveness for your country or your organization, this is good. You have the best application. And there is no choice but the best. Okay? So this is a big, you remember, there is I will compare the old world and the new world. You know SAP? You know the name SAP? Simple application, easy to install, rapid to deploy, very cheap. Okay. Okay, on the other side, I will get Salesforce. Okay. SAP has about 100,000 users worldwide. About 100,000. And Salesforce, same number, 90,000 today. But 100,000 clients, 1,000 different versions of the software. Each organization has its own SAP. If I work for SAP Total or Ron Poulenc or Dacia, they have their own version. In Salesforce or in Google, I think it's supposed to make a difference, not always speak about Google, they have only one version, one instance. And so, SAP, how many people of SAP have the last version? Worldwide, less than 20%. Because if you change version, well, you have to pay about a few million euros, and it won't work. If you are on Salesforce or on Google, you always have only one version, the last one. So this is really the old world of software. This is a new world. Which one do you want to be in? I don't think there is never been in IT such a big difference between the old world and the new world. So it's great news for you. Okay. So it's coming, yes. Some numbers. This is a study done by an American company called Sogatuk. It's like Gartner Group. It's interesting because worldwide, in 2010, 30% of new applications were on SaaS, 70% on old applications. By 2014, 50-50. It's not 100%. But by 2014, 50% of organizations will install new application in SaaS and old application 50-50. I think it's a good number, by the way. It's coming. Okay. So, what are the main market for? I think it's important to remember, I spoke before of PLAS, IASA. The main market, this is for 2020. I don't know how they can make studies for 2020. I don't understand, but they do that. Okay, fine. This is Forrester. Okay. So, key market will be SaaS, 80% of the market. IaaS and PaaS, 20%, and business process, smaller one. So most of the market for cloud will be, over the next 5 to 10 years, on SaaS, software as a service, on top of infrastructure. Okay? So I think this is interesting. So, quick summary of what your decision. Okay. Infrastructure we have seen before. Private, public. You enter by a browser. And how do you define your application? I use the word component. I'm not a big fan of the word integration. Integrated. When you buy an integrated solution, you cannot disintegrate. So I prefer components. Okay. And when you change your tire on the car, you can buy Michelin or Pirelli. And when you change a window wiper, you can buy it from Valeo or another company. You have to use components. Okay. So let's define application. Typical application, business process, or support. What is the business process? An application which is specific to an industry. Support process, like CRM, human resources, generic. For example, one of my friends is the CIO of a very large French company called Lactalis. Lactalis is the #1 maker of cheese. Okay. French love cheese. Okay. So, he built a new application, very complex one, how to optimize the use of milk. Because milk represents 60% of the cost of the product. But I'm not sure if I sell you an application that runs milks, you will be interested. Okay. If I go to the biggest bank in Romania, say I have a wonderful application on milk management, say, I'm not interested. That specific application. Okay. On the other side, you have support process. Okay. So and then you have what the US calls social computing, all the application which can be used by anyone in any organization. The CIO of a big company in San Francisco, Wavable users, or your companies. Universal application. I will cut it into office automation, okay, existing today, and the new application like wiki, blogs, social networking, Google Plus or Facebook. Why in two? Because the first one, you have a very tough work. Replace antiques. Legacy application. 2 names. You may remember, some people keep using it, What was the name of this application? I don't remember. Office? You remember Word, Excel, PowerPoint? Okay, dead. Okay. Or on the mail side, you have what was the name of the mail? We all have the same, Exchange or Lotus Notes. So when you go to a guy or person and said, you have to get rid of Word. I've been using Word for 15 years. Okay, so, but we change. And so it's more complex to change, but we can do it. I will come back on this one. And then it's easier to install a social network, for example, because you have not to replace anything. There are not many organizations which have already social networks inside. Okay. So how do you change this stuff? How do you migrate? And the key point for you is to remember that if I speak support, the hypothesis is simple. We have solution on the cloud. 3 or 4 examples. I spoke already of Salesforce for CRM. Okay, it's a good example. Okay, I can take human resources. The #1 on the market is called SuccessFactors. If I want to do budgeting, you are entering the budget planning now. It's budget. Okay, budget, you have a good application which is called Clarice, and, oh no, it's called adaptive planning. Okay, so you have applications. Okay, oops. So that's what's coming. I have to change my, okay. And adaptive planning is coming, or project management. Project, who does project? Everyone. So you have solution on the cloud. One of the good examples is called Clarice. Okay, great. So summarizing the changes we want to make for next year. How do you migrate? Very simple. Everything which is here on public cloud. It does not make any sense for any organization in Romania to run a mail server. This is a very silly decision. Don't do that. Do you want to run your own Twitter? No. So you don't run your own mail. Somebody does it better than you. Okay. All the support process, they are already available on public cloud. I gave you some names. So what is stay inside on private cloud? Business process, a specific application. Or you can find a community cloud, or if you don't have it, you go on your private cloud. And this is good news for IT people. Because, why? Because then you can concentrate your energy on what makes your business different. You can be in government, you can be in industry, in services, in bank. You work on bank application. And you don't waste your time running servers for mail, for CRM, or whatever. So you can go out all the commodities, all the old applications, all the generic applications, and concentrate on your key business. So this is the way we do it. We think it's a good way to move over time. So this is two big changes, okay, on usage and infrastructure. Today, most of your organization are here, where you have licenses, could be SAP, could be Microsoft, on your own private servers. There are two places where you don't go, which are license on the cloud, doesn't make any sense, or SaaS inside. Doesn't make sense. So what are the key move is here, SaaS on the cloud. And so your challenge, the big challenge, is to go from here to here. This is what we do as a living in Revevol, trying to help you move in the new world of SaaS. And to summarize and to enter the help for the next part of the presentation, one of the first steps to the cloud is, of course, collaboration and communication. Why? Because it's universal. So this is a good example of your offices today. Okay? So where do you send to? This is what you have today. You know, the old world. Microsoft Office stuff, okay, so just get rid of it. Okay. Of course, your offices are not. You are already in the new world. Okay, so how do you move? Very simple. Okay, solutions exist. There are plenty of solutions. I'm on time. Okay, 5 minutes, okay. First, universal usage of SaaS. Everyone, everywhere. French, Romania, Morocco, Italy, everywhere. Any size of organization, you know, you could do anywhere, okay? Yeah, okay. I'm on time. Okay, any size, any country, any sector. Fine, okay. So today, it's interesting. You have in the world 1 billion users of Microsoft Office or Outlook. There will be 0 in 2020, of course. So we only have a very nice job migrating 100 million persons per year on the new world. So that's a good, interesting work for Revevol. So this is why we are so optimistic about the growth. And of course, Google also, okay. It's easy to do. Well, there are some cultural changes. So if someone goes to your door and says, hello, I want to sell you a nice product, you know this one? Okay. What is your answer in French? Of course, it's thanks, but no thanks. No merci. Okay. If you buy Office 2010, just get in your mind that you are buying a typewriter. Office 2010 is the typewriter of the 21st century. Don't do it. Or you want to do it, but without Revevol. Okay. We are not willing to get you in the wrong direction. Okay. But some people will do it, of course. Okay. So every organization in Romania can do it. This is good. Okay. You can go to universities. Of course, it costs for universities €0. That's fine. 20,000 students, 20,000 times 0 equal 0. Fine, okay? You can go to industry, okay, like Dacia. You, of course, go to the government. You have a nice building in your country, okay? Very well known building. Small building, okay? So everyone in your country, from the smallest industry, universities, school, government, can do it. And we have a team to help you do that, okay? Great team, okay? So Google Apps, we will make a presentation, 2 versions, as I said before, okay, I go quick. One version is free for education, one version is pay 40 euro per year per person. Alternative option for all the antiques, all the legacy application, Office, OpenOffice, Exchange, Lotus Notes, all this old application, SharePoint. You forget about it. Okay, go to the new one. Okay. So, and as you said before, and I think it's important to understand, you don't have version. You know, over time, if you take time over application, every day, every week there is a new stuff. So it goes up. You know, every day something new. Almost every day, every week. So it started, it's a young product. It started in 2007. And by the way, it started in France because Webevol, the official announcement of Google Apps worldwide was done in Paris. Because we had, in Webevol, 60% of all the early adopters. Big companies like L'Oréal, Valeo, and some, okay. So, and then you add functions, so I don't want to go into the detail, but every day comes a new version, okay? For example, presentation, or what else could we see? Presentation, site, all the new applications coming, okay? Over time, okay. For example, presentation was not available. And yesterday, or a few days ago, they announced a new version of presentation, which is much better. Okay. So it keeps on and on and on. And for the same price of 40 euros, $50. And you forget about update. Great, great news, okay. So, there is competition. Of course there is competition coming from a small company called Microsoft, okay. And Microsoft announced a new product called 365. And of course, Microsoft does this very simple, like Google, very simple, 11 different prices. Google, you have one price, okay, one price, and Google and Microsoft has 11 prices, okay. The cheapest one is already does nothing but exist. And if you are bigger than 50 people, you are not allowed to do it. So if you go to an enterprise organization, $27, $24 per person, this is 5 times more. And by the way, it's not cloud. Because it's not multi-tenant. So I don't want to destroy the competition, but it's very easy to do. Okay. Don't do 365.
This is per month.
Per month, of course.
Per year.
Yeah, compared per month, okay, 5, okay. And by the way, you 5, it's 4, really it's 4, but you know, this is Microsoft numbers, okay. Why? Because then you have to change version. Then you will have to buy in 3 years 366, the next version. So don't do it, okay. If you follow my, okay. This is not very interesting. So priorities for 2012, 2014, to get rid of your old stuff. You take all the old application, you know, the one you know, the nice, you are used to it, okay? Look, it could be Exchange, SharePoint, Lotus Notes, okay? Okay, you know this application. What do you do with them? Okay, very simple, okay? Well, what do you do? Very simple. For Christmas, you will do a big fire, burn everything, and replace by Google Apps. Okay, simple. Okay, so summary. Quick summary, and I am almost on time. Okay. As I said, I want to speak about general IT, not only Google Apps. I'm sorry. Okay. So IT as a service is a new definition. We build IT as a service, which means every function is a service you can buy. So you offer the service to the end user. The end user could be in marketing, in production, in whatever you want to do it. So the CIO in between, the guy in the middle, just offer services. Some can be on public cloud, like we said before, some on private cloud. They are services, IT services, okay? And then you have a lot of solutions, and you have organizations like Webevol, okay, this is our job, and this is a nice job, to help you get everything to work together, okay? what we call aggregator. Some people call integrator. I prefer the word aggregator. That's our job. Okay. And it's important to do. We know how to do. So what are the benefits for you as an organization? Very simple benefits for organization. Low cost. Low cost does not mean low quality. Low cost, high quality. Number two, fast deployment. Weeks, not years. Number three, and which is very important also for everyone, it works. You know, when we run Google Apps or whatever, it works. Okay, it's reliable. Best service to the end user. Okay, so it's important. Anywhere, anytime, any device. I can work on the as you say, you saw a picture of Virgin. Okay, now in the Virgin Airlines plane, you have Wi-Fi. European Air France, not yet. It's coming. Okay, but you can work anywhere, anytime. And the key important point for you as an IT guy, you can concentrate on your core business application, which represents the way a Romanian bank is different from a French bank or from a French oil company. So IT people can concentrate on their key values, which is really the most important point for us. Okay. So I remember summary on one more slide. I used it before. Cloud first. So really, the key message I want you to remember, cloud first. You have plenty of stuff to do tomorrow morning, or maybe the day after tomorrow, on Monday. Minimum on Monday for cloud first, okay? So this is clearly what I wanted to tell you, okay? So now, thanks for your time, and I hope this will help you.
We should take a couple of questions.
If you want, yes. Okay, and then I have some time. I am here all the day, so please ask questions if you have any questions.
Thank you for a very nice presentation. It was very interesting. I have 4 questions for you. One, you made a small debate on why private clouds are not so interesting and maybe public clouds are more interesting. So I understand that the main reason is that efficiency is better for bigger quantities and so on. Why do you think still major companies have private clouds?
It's, every single company is afraid of going to the cloud because it's new. I will be running a conference in the US in 2 weeks. It's called Nephophobia. Nephos in Greek means cloud. Okay, fear of cloud. Okay, and even in the US there are fear of cloud. Okay, so my information is on the cloud. Where? I don't know. Well, I sleep very well with my information on Google, but some people have their money under the mattress. That's a private cloud. Okay. And some people have money in the bank. By the way, in the bank today is not very secure for some new bank. Okay. Okay. Some people are getting their money out of the bank. That's another story. Okay. So really, 99.9% of the organization in Romania cannot run a secure private cloud. It's impossible to run.
How do you see the situation for, let's say, a major technology company who has private data about customers and products and so on?
Yeah. For example, when I use Salesforce, or let's take Salesforce to speak only, they use what they call safe harbor. Safe harbor means that this is a general way of running a cloud, means that if a judge from the US asks to access your information from a Romanian company, he cannot do that. You have to go from a judge in the US to a judge in Romania that will come to you and ask to answer. And if a judge from your country asks to access your information, it could be private or public, you have to give access. So you have a lot of security, really. And there is a huge video, wonderful video on YouTube on the security of Google data centers. Okay, and you can find it. When you don't enter, nobody can enter. Okay. And some people, just another quick example. Google has opened a new data center in Belgium, okay, in Ghent. Okay. So they invited the king of Belgium to the inauguration. It's a big building, okay? But king or not king, he was not allowed to visit. If somebody lets you visit a data center, it is not secure. When you have the top security control called SAS 70 Type 2, it says clearly visits are prohibited. So if somebody has a hosting company in your country, say, you want to visit? You say yes. And then you answer, say, so now I will not come back because you are not secure. So really, this is a very complex question of security, confidentiality. If you are rational, you know it's cheaper, faster, more secure, more confidential. We know that. But in our mind, it takes time. Cultural issues, my information could be accessed. Well, you sign a contract with Google, you sign a contract with Salesforce or with SuccessFactors, and they don't access it. Okay. For example, a small company in Germany called Siemens, 400,000 users, is running all its human resources management on SuccessFactors. And human resource information is very confidential. And the law in Germany are the worst in the world. Yes. So they do it. So it takes time. So my advice would be one application at a time. Okay, start by Google or Salesforce. Most organizations in Romania need two functions. Communication collaboration, Google or Google, simple, okay? Or CRM and CRM. And once you have the two, you have a lot on the cloud already. Okay?
Thank you very much. Next question would be related to integration with legacy applications that big companies, for them it's pretty hard to quit them in one go. Okay. So how would you see that?
Okay. Let's take a very classical old application like SAP. Okay. It's impossible to get rid of SAP. I guess nobody from SAP here? Okay. So what is my analogy with SAP? You know the Scientology church? When you go in, you go rich, you cannot get out unless you are poor. Okay. So a company like Valeo, for example, has SAP. And they will keep it for 10 years. So we implement Google Apps. So all the connectors to access the old application are available. You can speak from Google Apps to Salesforce, from Salesforce to SuccessFactors, from Google Apps to SAP, Oracle application, whatever. So all the connectors, the API are open, and this is one of the, by the way, I'm sorry to speak about Webable one more time, but this is what we do for a living. And we have a wonderful team of technical people who know how to connect to your Active Directory, your LDAP, all your legacy applications. We know how to do it. And I spoke yesterday with 2 days ago with somebody from Salesforce. When you run Salesforce on the cloud, 50% of the transactions on Salesforce access legacy application. 50%. So you are perfectly right. You cannot get rid of all the oldies. Okay. You get it in how do you call these houses for old people? Geriatric house. Okay. You keep it here, and then you move to the new one. Okay. Okay.
Last question. Yeah. You mentioned a lot Salesforce. How come you talk about it so much? Are you implementing Salesforce in Romania?
No, I gave some name to make sure I don't only speak about Google Apps, but we work also with another one called Zoho. So we use, for example, 2 CRM. Zoho is a good CRM, which may be more useful for medium or small organization because it's much cheaper. So, but Zoho is good. Salesforce is good. In each field, like a CRM, human resources, you have 3, 4, or 5 vendors. I could not give all the names. So I gave the number. Why I speak of Salesforce? Because Salesforce has been on the market for 10 years. Sales of Salesforce last year, $2 billion. Okay, so it's a nice company. Google is also a small one, with 30 billion sales. Okay, so, we speak about large companies most of the time. Okay? Okay. One more at the end. Okay.
We do the demo, and after that we'll
okay.
take some of
Okay.
So, acum să avem un demo ca să